In the world of fighting, there is undoubtedly one name that almost everyone recognizes at this point: Connor McGregor. The Irish native has stormed his way through the sport and has made a mark as one of the all-time greats. And with all that publicity, even his most die-hard fans don't know everything about him. That is why we are breaking down 10 things that might shock you about Connor McGregor. Number 10. Salary. Connor McGregor made anywhere from $230,000 to $622,000 per second at UFC 194. Now, UFC 194 obviously generated a lot of money from the gate, pay-per-view buys, and the variety of other revenue streams. Now, off of the bat, Connor won some $500,000 for that win. Additionally, as is typical with contracts, he gets a certain cut from each pay-per-view buy. Now, the official numbers are still not in, however, we can estimate how much he made. It has been reported that Connor McGregor would receive between $3 and $5 for every pay-per-view buy. It is expected that around 1 million people ordered the fight at the very least. If that's the case and he made $3 per buy, he made some $230,000 per second, as the fight was just 13 seconds long. Now, if 1.5 million people purchased the fight and he saw $5 from each sale, he then would have made $622,000 per second. Now, while the official numbers are still not out there, we do know that Connor McGregor made a small fortune that night. Shockingly, this past year, Forbes announced that MMA star Connor McGregor is atop the list of the world's 10 highest paid earning athletes, having made $180 million in 2020. This is the 32-year-old's first time in the number one slot, and it isn't just because of the fighting earnings. Inside the octagon, he only made $22 million, and it was from a fight that he lost to Dustin Poirier at UFC 257 in January. McGregor's earnings came from outside ventures, including endorsements and the sale of his whiskey brand, Proper No. 12. According to Forbes, his business portfolio also includes DraftKings, the video game Dystopia Contest of Heroes, and a lifestyle brand, Roots of Fight. He's clearly been putting his money to work. Number 9. Relationship. Connor McGregor has been in a committed relationship throughout his entire career. In addition to being loyal to his coach, McGregor has not allowed his fame and fortune to interfere with his relationship. Dee Devlin is McGregor's girlfriend, and the two have been together for nearly a decade. Devlin is far more than just Connor McGregor's girlfriend, however. In fact, McGregor has been open about the fact that it was only with Devlin's support that he was able to pursue fighting. She believed in him so much that even when the two were just making ends meet through unemployment benefits, she would drive him to training sessions, help him eat healthily, and provide invaluable support. Most recently, Connor McGregor proposed to her, and now the two are engaged to be married. The two were engaged last year, and the news was revealed on Dee Devlin's 33rd birthday on August 9th, 2020. At the time, Connor McGregor shared a picture of the two of them with Devlin showing off the engagement ring. While they have yet to become officially married, there is no doubt that it's coming up soon. Number 8. Activism. McGregor always gives back to his community. While it can be fun to watch fighters compete, supporting an athlete for personal reasons can make it all the more exciting. While McGregor is known for his brash and derogatory pre-fight trash talk, it does seem that he is actually a kind and generous individual in his personal life. McGregor is known to give back to people who have supported him, buying his family cars and paying off their mortgages. However, he also extends assistance to those in need. One of the most inspiring moments in McGregor's career was when he donated €50,000 to Simon Community and Focus Ireland. These charities provide services to the homeless of Ireland. Number 7. 2 belts. He is the first person to hold 2 UFC belts simultaneously. While viewer numbers and record-breaking revenues are important, none of it would be possible without being an outstanding fighter. Not only is McGregor an excellent mixed martial artist, he is in a league of his own. While BJ Penn was able to win both the welterweight and lightweight belts, and Randy Couture was able to win the heavyweight and light heavyweight belts, neither of these fighters held both belts at the same time. McGregor is the only fighter in the history of the UFC to hold 2 belts simultaneously. That is until Amanda Nunes. Number 6. Popularity. Connor McGregor is definitely one of the most popular fighters of his time. However, most people are unaware of how immense his drawing power truly is. Including the early predictions for UFC 205, he has had 4 pay-per-view fights that have drawn over 1 million buys. However, the most impressive statistic comes when one compares his success to the UFC as a whole. Looking at the win over Jose Aldo to the knockout of Eddie Alvarez, those pay-per-view buys from his fights have more than doubled that of the entire UFC in 2014. Amazingly, he alone has managed to bring in more than double what the entire promotion was able to earn. Number 5. Weight classes. He's also known for having fought in 3 different weight classes, and fighting weight classes are a necessity. Dividing athletes by weight allows any individual to display their skill, fitness, and toughness in front of thousands of fans. A select few, however, are able to find success at multiple weight classes. McGregor is one of the most notable individuals who have had this feather in his cap. He has competed and won bouts in the UFC welterweight division at 170 pounds, lightweight division at 155 pounds, and featherweight division at 145 pounds. To have wins at such a range of weight classes really speaks to the courage, confidence, and ability. Number 4. Odd jobs. Before McGregor's fighting days began, he was working regular odd jobs. For example, he used to be a plumber. When one sees McGregor today, there are 2 common images. One is the fighter blasting opponents in the octagon, while the other is of McGregor buying ludicrously expensive suits and cars. Nobody would expect that this high-profile professional athlete once labored away at a trade. Before reaching fame and fortune, McGregor was on his way to a stable career as a plumber. However, luckily for his fans, he decided to pursue MMA. Although this decision initially worried his parents, he has obviously made the right decision. On some days, McGregor had to work for 12 hours, which made it difficult for him to focus on his dream of being a fighter. Eventually, he did quit his job and pursued training full-time. His dad disapproved, but McGregor told his father he'd become a self-made millionaire someday. Now, for reference, the average plumber in Ireland makes about $50,000 a year, according to Jobs. Number 3. UFC 2013. Before Connor signed with the Ultimate Fighting Championship in 2013, he was fighting in the Cage Warriors Fighting Championship. Now, typically, fighters stay within one weight division, but most fighters are also not Connor McGregor. At CWFC 47, Connor defeated opponent Dave Hill and won the featherweight belt. Then in his next fight, he gained weight and secured the CWFC lightweight belt. So in 1 year, Connor held 2 belts for 2 different weight divisions, which is pretty much an unheard of feat in the world of fighting. And he did it twice. Number 2. Soccer dreams. Many may be surprised to know that Connor didn't always dream about becoming a fighter. In fact, he wanted to be a soccer player at one point. According to an article from Bleacher Report, Connor dreamed about becoming a professional soccer player when he was younger. McGregor, who has previously stated that he is a lifelong fan of Manchester United, went on to state that like most other kids from Ireland, his first goal was to become a professional football player. He has been quoted as saying that was the one thing growing up. It was like how good you were at fighting and how good you were at playing football. They were the 2 things that seemed to be important, you know? When I was growing up, I probably just wanted to play football. That was my first dream. I used to dream about being a footballer. I remember when I was 10 years old, I used to go out on my own and kick the ball around, and that was my dream. Number 1. Welfare. Many lifelong McGregor fans may be surprised to learn that at one point he was on welfare before entering the UFC. Connor's life wasn't always filled with sold-out fights or driving fast cars. According to McGregor himself, he was actually collecting welfare checks from Ireland before he made his UFC debut. He secured his first UFC win in Sweden against Marcus Brimage, and after the fight he told reporters, "I didn't have money before this, you know? Like I said, I was collecting 180 euros a week off the social welfare, and here I am and I've got 60 G's bonus money in my own pay." This was obviously a life-changing moment for McGregor and will no doubt pave the way for him well into his eventual retirement from the UFC. Still, McGregor comes from a pretty tough background in Ireland. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content. This has been our breakdown of 10 things that might shock you about Connor McGregor.